During every parlay, our guest will play some Lego with us. Together, all ecosystem players will have co-created this Lego pirate ship. Well, welcome back everybody. Today we got Askim from Junction. Welcome.
Hello.
Askim, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and what Junction does.
Okay, so my name is Askim. I am a co-founder of Junction. We are a company providing innovation, strategy and tracks towards other companies.
Tell us a little bit about the hackathons.
So a hackathon is an innovation bootcamp. We do it with large corporates and we mix them with startup teams and students as well. So it can be in any different sector that you want to target. For example, we did one in the diamond industry in May. And there we put up a few challenges, like 3 or 4 challenges within the industry, and then we search teams who are able to do something with those challenges towards a solution. And then they work along that for a whole weekend using different methodologies, and eventually coming up with a prototype to showcase at the end of the weekend.
Yeah. So the center of Antwerp's business is in diamonds, ports and plastics, and you've done hackathons for all three.
Yes.
Huh?
Indeed, yes.
That's quite cool. Askim, during which stage of a company's trajectory is it interesting for them to come and contact you guys?
Actually, at any stage, because we provide tracks for all different stages. For example, if a company has already established a good innovation culture and innovation mindset, we have foreseen different tracks. Or if a company doesn't have that yet, we can also help to establish that with different tracks.
Mm-hmm. One of the really cool tracks you were explaining is bringing startups and corporates together in a more real way rather than just over a weekend on a hackathon. I think that's pretty cool. Can you talk about that?
Yes, like a hackathon is a cool thing. It's a nice thing to do. You have a lot of innovation, a good vibe, but it's 2 or 3 days. So that's not something we advise to do as only that. Mm-hmm. We have a big process before that and a process after that, in order to be able to stimulate long-term innovation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the process after that, how would that work? How much time of a company's workforce would it take to be able to follow up on these ideas?
Well, it totally depends on what their scope is, on what they want to tackle as being a challenge. Is it more the team culture? Is it more something of a prototype thing, a technical thing, or a combination of them? Usually we have something between 4 months and a year, maybe a year and a half. Mm-hmm. It's not full-time, of course. It can be 1 day in a week, can be 2 days in a week. You can have an innovation team within your company that's working on that during specific times of the week or of the month. And then we can also help with that, being also part of the innovation team to help stimulate them to be able to do it. Right. So as Junction, we have an expertise in logistics, mobility and education, but we cover all sectors in order to be able to also see ourselves what is happening in other sectors, to learn from that, to bring it towards those companies. And what we see at hackathons as well, it is our aim to bring together different startups, different companies from all different sectors. For example, if we did the hackathon for the Port of Antwerp, it's not just startups being active in the port industry, it's also the other ones as well, not having anything to do with the industry. So we can see, yes, across industry innovation coming alive actually.
Yeah. And the cool thing about the port hackathon was it wasn't only companies but also government agencies, like customs also has issues with the port, and they were able to share their actual information.
Yes, indeed. They were also present there, they shared information, they were a coach there. Some of their team members also participated into the hackathon. Mm-hmm. So they have the expertise on their side from what's it like to work in the port like that, and then the startup teams don't have that expertise, but they have so many different things that they can bring together and actually work towards a viable solution.
Yeah, actually it's pretty cool, viable solution. So they've got a real world problem and these innovative companies come up with a solution, and you've got actually a product solution fit, right? And that's the holy grail.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Okay, so basically you guys make sure that there's a product solution fit. You guys get the guys with the problems and the solutions together.
Yes.
Okay, so you do that over a weekend, but then the idea is, that to see if there's actually a fit or not, you got to try it out in the real life, right? Yes. And in the real life happens on Monday once the hackathon is finished. From your experience in working with this and trying to get these two different mindsets together, when has it failed, and what are some of the most important learnings from these common failures?
There are learnings from these kind of tracks, and most importantly being that the innovation doesn't stop after the hackathon. You have a process before that, and most importantly also after that. That's when it actually starts. So the hackathon is a starting point and not an ending point. It's very important to know. You have to be able to spend time after the hackathon in your team, be it an innovation team or another kind of team that you set up specifically towards enabling innovation within your company. If you don't do that, like it will drift apart somewhere, and you will not have the innovation that you wanted, that you could have had because of the solutions were there at the hackathon. It's very important to keep track of that as well.
And that's very much the nature of innovation, isn't it? If you think of innovation in general as a destination and not a journey, you're not going to be innovative.
Yes.
So then how can you expect this to be a destination and not a... Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true.
You could have been doing so many other things, right? You could have been a model also. But why work in this innovative sector of the economy?
It's really something that I wanted to do, and I discovered it while working at the University of Ghent.
Okay.
I started out volunteering with, actually it was because of my brother, because he was participating in a hackathon and they needed volunteers. So I volunteered there, and then I got to know many more people. We organized a few hackathons more in different sectors, and then I saw, well, what if I could combine my expertise from the university, where we work with people and the people side of innovation, and the technology side. If we could combine that, what could we do? And then that's what we did with Junction too. And I really love doing it.
For me, every time and I've been to quite a few of your hackathons, that's why I can say they're the best, right? Like, I always come away feeling so energized, right? And you're doing this day in and day out, so it must be insanely energizing.
Yes, it gives a lot of energy, but it also takes a lot of energy. Like the day after the hackathon, we don't work, but immediately after that, like we get into the vibe again, and we see like we take off the innovations that have come out of the hackathon, and we work with the companies on that to really start implementing them, because that's really the moment after the hackathon. You really have to grab it with both hands and really take it to another level.
Oh yeah, otherwise it slips out, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so hopefully the Lego doesn't slip out of your hand.
Yes.
Parlay is a business accelerator that invests in innovative companies so that they can sell more and sell faster. Our program at Parlay is quite straightforward. We provide funding, add it with the best partners, so that you can multiply your sales. And there's no hassle of moving to our locations. If you're curious as to how we can work together, do reach out to us.